welcome to another how-to video. In this one I'm going to be showing you headlight restoration. As you can see, we have these lovely, well, they're not actually lovely, they're horrible yellow and dull. But we have these headlights and I'm going to take you through the process on how to make them shiny again. Before I do that, I'm going to talk a little bit about why they look like this. So modern cars have plastic lenses, most modern cars have plastic lenses, and as well as that, they're actually clear coated. So they have the same clear coat as what your painted panels have on a normal vehicle. Now, whereas on a normal vehicle's clear coat is between 30 to 40 microns roughly on your average car, the headlights only have 10 microns, around 10 microns thick clear coat. Now that's not a lot. Considering the headlights, obviously they're clear, they're plastic, they get UV radiation from the bulbs, they get UV radiation from the sun, tar, salt, everything on them. And the clear coat really does have a hard time of keeping them clear, as you can see. So what we need to do is we need to get through that to get back to the shiny stuff. Yeah, it's had a hard life, the clear coat is oxidized a little bit, so we need to cut through that and get to the shiny stuff. Now, what we don't need to do is go through 300, 600 grit, 80, 800 grit sandpaper, working through all those phases and then polishing up, because whilst yes, it will look fantastic once it's done, it'll be incredibly clear, they'll be like brand new. As soon as you remove that clear coat, you have no protection anymore. You know, the UV damage and everything, and they will go yellow within a matter of months. You know, it's taken years for these headlights to get like this. But as soon as you remove that clear coat, you have no protection. They will literally yellow in a matter of months, worse than they ever did before. Of course, in some cases, the clear coat failure, you know, sometimes it can be flaking off, it can be completely damaged beyond repair. And in that case, sanding is the only necessary way, or heavy sanding, okay? What you do need to do though is replace the clear coat. Okay, so if you get your friendly body shop, or if you're quite handy with a spray gun or a spray can, you can reapply the clear coat yourselves, and then it will last for years. But just leaving them bare, even with a coating, most coatings are designed to bond the clear coat, you know, they're just not going to last. So let's go into how to solve these ones. Okay, so you can see from that, they're not a very good condition. They're dull, they're weathered. We need to get through this oxidized clear coat and get the shiny stuff back. So the first step is P2000 sandpaper, okay? Nothing heavier. If I go heavier than that, I'm going to risk, you know, removing the clear coat or leaving it so thin that it will fail very, very quickly, okay? So we only want light sanding. This is just literally to support the polishing process. I have no doubt that the headlight polish and the lamb's wool would, you know, remove this oxidization quite quickly, but this will just help speed up the process. All right, so I'll apply some water to the headlights, okay, and the sanding pad, and then I'm just going to very, very lightly sand the oxidization off. And what you'll see from sanding is you'll see within the water that you go in, you'll see the damaged clear coat or the expelled clear coat that you're sanding, you know, disappearing with the water. Not very good at describing that, but that's what happens. Okay, so let's remove that. Give them a dry down with a cloth. It's not very comfortable down here, so I'm sorry if I'm moving around. Right, so you can see they're not looking actually much better at the moment. If anything, we've made them look worse. But that's just from the sanding, that's no problem. So what I have now is Flex P80 80mm rotary and Sonax 80mm lamb's wool pad. Okay. And I'm going to twin that with Sonax headlight polish. Give it a good shake, make sure you get the abrasives all the way through the emulsion so that You don't just put, you know, the carrier emulsion on there and not have any abrasives in. Okay, so lots of little dots. Spread it around the fibres of the wall. Get it a bit of a mix in so I don't end up spraying it all over the place. Okay. Apply. Spread it around the headlight so that we get the abrasive spread evenly, so we don't get, you know, really good abrasives and really high cutting here and then it starts to tail off. So we'll spread them around. Right. Low speed to begin with, a little bit of pressure, not too much. Lambrel pad is a very high cutting pad, so it's going to do quite a lot of work itself, and then the headlight polish will just help it. You can probably see that it's starting to clear up quite nicely. And we'll just increase the speed. And now we're just very gently going over them. No pressure at all, just let in the pad. Glide over the top. This just helps them to gloss the finish up. And you can see on the pad the yellowing clear coat, or the faded oxidized clear coat on the pad. Let's try not to throw that on the floor. Okay, so let's wipe away and see what we have. Scrub a bit off. It's typical, there's none in any of the cans where I need it. Right, so this is prepare, which will just wipe any residues off of the headlight. Just to degrease it, ready for coating, which is coming next. But what a difference, what a difference. There's some micro cracking here, or stress cracking. That comes from heavy chemicals, you know, TFR, things like that. The headlights, because the plastic, if you have a strong cleaner, it stresses the surface so much that they end up cracking. So we've got some here and some around here, but overall, what a difference. So now coating. So this is our Profiline headlight coating. Hopefully you can see that. In here you get 10 sachets. So a sachet is enough to do 2 headlights. So there is enough to do 10 cars. Okay? Obviously, simple maths. Okay, so we just peel this one open. I'm just using a disposable cloth because once this goes off, it's rock hard. It needs to go in the bin. So I'm just using one of our disposable polishing cloths. I put half of the coating from it onto here because the other half is for the other headlight. I'm sure you guessed that already. Right, so I just apply this around. very, very evenly. This is a ceramic based headlight coating. It's a 1-year coating. It helps give extra UV protection, helps against, you know, road grime, sole, things like that. Right, okay, so the gimbal unfortunately overheated and fell over, so I've left that in for comedy purposes, just to give everyone a laugh at my expense. So I'm back with a traditional stand, so it won't happen again. But as I was saying, the headlight coating gives you UV protection. It also has a restorative effect, so if you don't completely get them clear, you know, if they're not completely clear, or the clear coat is, you know, starting to fail, the headlight coating will restore the clarity. It will help the clear coat. It's almost like an extra layer, so to speak. So you don't have to get them perfect. You'll put that on, and you know, it will really make them clear and glossy. I have now left this 5 minutes, which is 5 to 10 minutes is the cure time, depending on humidity and temperature. While I was messing around with the gimbal and stuff, I let that set. I also did the other headlight as well, because productivity, isn't it? Yeah. Keep going. So this is now ready to remove. What you're sort of looking for is like a sticky effect. You won't be able to see it even if I try with the camera, but it goes like a little bit tacky, a little bit sticky, and that's normally a good sign that it's ready to remove. So I have a Sonex coating cloth, and I'm just going to very, very lightly remove the excess. I don't want to push too hard. I'm just going to let the cloth do the work, because if I do that, I'm going to damage the coating. Turning the cloth also helps, because you get to a cleaner side, and that just helps remove any last residues. And there we go. So very, very simple 2-step process. Polishing, well, it's a 3-step if you polish, but it's 2-step with our stuff. Headlight polish, headlight coating, lamb's wool pad, and you can just see how fast and easy that was to restore that. We didn't do multi-grades of sanding. We've left the clear coat intact. We've helped the clear coat with the coating, and now we have lovely clear headlights for years to come. Yeah, it's very simple to do. You know, if it's required again in a year or whatever's time, you know, it's very easy to do. So you keep your headlights clear, and then most importantly, keep the clear coat intact. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, comment, tell me how good or bad a job I did, and click the notifications button so you keep up to date with anything that we post. And I'll see you in the next video.